James and I worked and researched throughout the entire weekend, moving funds into new accounts, setting up credit lines with our vendors, and doing research to find the best commercial property for the new company. I don't think I told you what the new company is going to be. Through the past year and a half, James became familiar with my creative strengths and realized that the experience he has in leading a company dealing with real estate development, coupled with my creative interior design skills, we could come together and build something substantial with our talents. The company will offer newly developed turnkey homes for prospects who don't want to be bothered with the stress of furnishing their own homes. And according to the market research, there's a huge demand for it, and he's calling the business DBF Homes, which stands for Design, Build, and Furnish Homes. After completing my portion of the tasks, I met up with Nisha at the nail salon to have some girl time and to discuss upcoming details. While she and Derek were away, she called to tell me the great news, and also asked that we keep it on the hush so that they can have an engagement party once they get back. So Liz and I are planning to throw them a little party to celebrate it.
I don't want anything extravagant for our engagement party since we are planning on having a destination wedding. So maybe we can do something low-key at the house and just invite our closest friends.
Since Nisha just wants to have a laid-back type of celebration at her house, I'm thinking we could plan this as a game night and just kick back like the times before we had any real responsibilities. While getting my toes done, I couldn't help but notice that my nail tech looked awfully familiar. I just couldn't remember where I saw her. Nonetheless, she did an amazing job with my nails and toes. I just had to let her know. Soon after I finished up, I got a call from James, so I sat and waited for Nisha while speaking to him. While on the call, we cross-referenced all the details we both agreed to accomplishing while away from each other.
I have news to share with you. Are you available to come by my place today?
Since I just finished up at the salon, I told him I would ask Nisha to drop me off at his place instead of mine.
We did it.
The news James wanted to share with me was that he just received the keys to our new building today. We secured a commercial building to do business out of. So now we can start hiring project managers and scouting for undeveloped land. One of the nice things about building this new company with James is that I will no longer be just his personal assistant. I will be his business partner and colleague very soon. We celebrated over takeout and champagne. We were delighted, and no one else knew our little secret. After we ate, I got a call from Liz freaking out.
Sophia, where are you?
Because while I had been out this evening, all of the residents at our apartment were being escorted out of the building.
There is a building-wide electrical fire at our apartments right now. Management is revoking access to the building for the next 24 hours so they can investigate the root cause. I'm packing clothes and I'm going to stay at Nisha's for the night. Do you want to ride with me?
I told Liz I was at the bookstore finishing up reports for James and that there's no reason for her to come across town to get me when there's a hotel I can check into right here next door. I couldn't tell her exactly what I was doing since James and Derek haven't told Nisha and Liz about our plans yet. I was low-key stressing because I didn't know how bad the fire was, and at this point, I had missed my chance to pack any clean clothes. James, sitting right beside me, heard the whole conversation, and as soon as I got off the phone, he said to me,
I have 4 extra bedrooms in this house. You don't have to get a hotel room. I think it's best if you don't go anywhere since we've been drinking.
Surprised by his offer, I hesitated thinking it'd be taboo for me to stay the night at my boss's house. So I tried to be modest and he let me talk, but James wasn't trying to hear it. He had to walk me through the sense I wasn't making at the moment, but he did it in such a mature and mild-mannered way, and I knew he was right. And at the same time, I was too intoxicated to think about what hotel I was really going to check into tonight. So I finally agreed with him and thanked him for extending the offer to me. After that, we watched some TV, and then we went out back with a bottle of champagne. We just sat and talked about everything: work, friends, favorite places to vacation, things we want to be known for after we die. Then, after we finished the bottle, we danced under the stars, and just when I decided to go inside and clean up our glasses, James follows my lead and asks,
"Why did you put up a fight about staying here tonight?"
So I told him, I try my best to keep professionalism between us, but I'd be lying if I say I don't want to explore more with you. And then,
"I do not want you holding back from telling me anything anymore, especially now, Sophia. I want to show you all the reasons why my plans include you, if you'll have me."
next thing I know, the moment I know we both have been waiting for. His lips were so soft, so juicy. I could feel myself going towards the point of no return. So I made an excuse and told James I needed to get to sleep. He set me up in one of his guest rooms. I took a shower and got in the bed. I was thirsty as hell, tossing and turning, and I couldn't sleep, but my clothes were already in his washing machine. So I waited until James went to sleep and went to the kitchen for some water. And as I stood there, I kept replaying the events of the night over and over in my head. I wondered if he felt what I was feeling, like the impulse to go further.
I tried 1,000 times just to stay high, to express my love, my self-desire for you. Feel me when I come correct.
And then I got my answer.
I see that your first impression of me, I knew love, but I got it for you. Rush, retrograde, feel your mercury, your pressure. Your love is sweet, I can need it be my love. I'll kill for you, I'll still be there for you.
The next morning, as I woke up, I thought I was dreaming the whole time. But when I opened my eyes, I saw that I was still in his bed, laying right beside him. We got up, showered, and got dressed. He let me wear one of his shirts since I didn't have extra clothes with me. To kill time before going back to my apartment, James suggested we go tour the new building, and that's when he gave me the other key. As we walked in, I could smell the fresh paint on the walls. The building was empty, ready for furniture and the addition of our greatest assets: people. James gave me a tour of the entire building. I looked at this listing online about a dozen different times before actually bringing it to James's attention. I just loved how open and bright it is here. The landscaping around the property is stunning, and the setup of the offices are built to promote a teamwork environment. As we walked around the building, we discussed what rooms would be for which teams. James wanted me to choose which office to take as my own. That thought alone was so exhilarating. I never knew I'd get to this point in my career so soon. The reason why this building was such a big deal is because most of the commercial properties on the market in our area are owned by Grady Enterprises. And since James recently discovered the mess his father is involved in, he didn't want this new venture to be tied to Grady Enterprises in any way. We spent the better part of the afternoon there at the property and didn't leave until it started to get dark. James agreed that he is ready to loop Nisha and Liz into our plans after he speaks to Derek about the legalities involved in everything we're trying to do. After we finished touring the property, James drove me home. It was time for me to assess the damage from the electrical fire and prepare for the work week ahead. Today started out like any other Monday, only we are meeting the new chief operating officer that Vincent and the board put in place. While we waited for them to arrive, everyone was discussing the gala and how nice it was. Suddenly, the COO arrives.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tara Espinosa. My addition to your company may come as a surprise to some of you, but I assure you I am making it my mission to be as helpful to you all as possible during these next 4 quarters. Grady Enterprises has been a gleaming pillar of excellence since I was a little girl, so becoming part of the Grady Enterprises team and contributing to the rising success of the company is nothing short of an honor. I hope you will all be just as excited as I am to hit the ground running with the plans I bring to your table. The key word here is organizational change, and I'm here to help you all through it. I will be scheduling meetings one-to-one with everyone so that I can assess where we are as a hive mindset and make necessary recommendations on how to move forward in the state we're currently in. My qualifications speak for the work I've done, and after this meeting, you can all check your emails to read upon the accomplishments of my profession thus far. And as far as you, James, I took it upon myself to clear your schedule for the day so that you and I could discuss the potential for plans we will need to work on together. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to drop by my office.
Good morning, Tara. As far as Grady Enterprises goes, you have my full support. So whatever you need, just ask me, and I will be happy to provide you with the resources. I'm sure everyone will cooperate to help things run smoothly for you here. I look forward to your contributions to the company.
While James and everyone else was welcoming Tara, I found it a little odd that James didn't check Tara for clearing his schedule, or even mentioning me as his personal assistant, the one who actually creates and manages his schedule in the first place. For the rest of the day, I did not see James at all. He had been in Tara's office the entire workday, and even went to lunch with her. I understand her role and why she's here, but my intuition is telling me that there's something more to her than she's letting off. I also felt slightly abandoned by James today, since he barely checked in with me, and any other time this would be okay, but today just felt weird, especially since we just slept together. All I could think was, I hope I didn't just play myself. After closing out at my desk, I waited for James in the lobby. And then I saw them hugging before they left Tara's office. If I knew any better, I'd say she has a thing for James, and just tried to assert her dominance right in front of me. But I don't know what's going on here, and I'm quite confused, to be honest. I had to pee pretty badly, so James waited for me in the car. We took a very quiet ride home. James seemed like he had a lot on his mind, and so did I. So when he dropped me off at home, he was supposed to come in and go over details about DBF with me, but my mind was all over the place. So I just told him I had a long day and wanted him to go home so I could get some sleep. The next several weeks felt different. It seemed like James and I went back to a professional relationship. We still met up to discuss DBF, but now that we have the building, We've been just taking the meetings there instead of our homes. I didn't mention Tara, and neither did he. But one thing was for sure, I didn't like the idea of having to rely on James when he wasn't showing up as the gentleman I thought he was. So I talked to Nisha about everything, and I told her I'm ready to buy myself a car. No more awkward drives with James every day. So after work one day, Nisha drove me to her favorite dealer. The guy who sold her car was very knowledgeable and took my needs into consideration. But of course, he tried to upsell me from the rip. What he didn't know was that I had a specific budget in mind. So I already came in with a ballpark idea of what I was planning to get. I'm not trying to spend all of my savings here. I am investing in DBF so that I can really take ownership of my portion of the company. James advised that I keep those savings and let him pay for everything we're doing with the company, but I just can't let him do that, not with how distant he's been with me after Tara's arrival. It felt like we were here for hours, but then we found the perfect one. It was all black with the cream interior just like I was hoping for. As soon as the guy ran down all of the specs and gave us the numbers, I agreed to move forward with the purchase, and we went to the financing office so that I could pay and sign all of the annoying paperwork. After getting everything finalized, I said bye to Nisha and took the most peaceful drive home. I stopped at every yellow light just because I was enjoying my new car. Getting honked at wasn't fun, but I was in my element. As soon as I made it home, I just sat there in silence, thanking the universe for always meeting me halfway so that I could be successful. Besides the weirdness going on with James, everything in my life feels good.